So you want to know about some of the best new home communities in 2024 all around the Treasure Valley in Boise, Idaho. Well, this video is for you because that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. I'm Chase Dolan, your Boise real estate agent, and I specialize in relocation to the Boise, Idaho area. Today, I'm going to share with you 4 of my favorite new home communities for the rest of 2024 and even into the years coming. When we're looking at the communities that I'm going to highlight today, I tried to make sure that all price points were reflected. So we have some that start in the mid 300,000s, about as low as you'll find new construction in our area, but then some going all the way up into the $1.3 to $1.5 million range if you want that higher end kind of luxury acreage home site sort of feel. These all have some really special things that I'm going to try and highlight, but the good thing about this list and then anything that I don't touch on, in Boise, Idaho right now, there are so many new construction opportunities. New construction is a big part of our housing market up here. A big part of this is because we are growing so fast. New homes have to be built. We didn't have a housing supply that could support a growing population. So if you're open to new construction, you have the timeline or the budget to allow you to build something, you really will have plenty of options for what you're looking for and then in the location that makes the most sense for you. Something to remember about new construction is there is going to be a little bit of a premium on the new home builds. And the reason for this is everything is brand new. You can choose exactly what you're looking for. Hopefully you're at the cutting edge of all of the trends, all of the new technologies going into your house. But at the end of the day, it really also comes down to newer homes are just shiny, they're fresh, they're new, they're sexy. Everything about them just feels a little bit better than buying a home that's 40 years old. I'm also going to highlight some that are all over our Treasure Valley. We're going to spend some time in Kuna, South Meridian. We're going to go all the way up to Middleton, and then we're going to spend some time out in kind of North Boise, North Eagle. And if at any point you think that I'm missing on something, or there's just a community that you really want to share with people because you've absolutely loved it, drop a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And again, continue to share those with people who might be looking for something similar to you. But let's hop right in with the first new home community that I am really excited for in 2024. Development started just back last year in 2023. It has been a project coming for the last few years that we've been hearing a lot about, and it kind of took some time to really make it through the entire process of getting development started. We're going to talk about Valor out in Kuna. So Valor is going to be a new home community. It's going to have an all ages portion Reveille, and then it's going to have a 55 and older portion Trilogy. But the entire community is going to be set up around a couple of golf courses. They're really trying to make it a resort style country club sort of neighborhood feel. Eventually, as development gets going, they're going to make this brand new Valor club that's going to be a clubhouse. You're going to have an actual bar and kitchen, place to go eat. Everything's going to be located right inside of your community, which is something that we don't see in a lot of communities out here. Golf course and country club style neighborhoods just aren't super popular out here. We really only have Spurwing over in North Meridian. We have Hillcrest down on the Boise Bench. And then we have Crane Creek that kind of runs through the highlands out in the highlands in northeast Boise. But outside of that, we don't really have an actual kind of community-driven resort style amenity sort of community that Valor's trying to go for. And that's what makes it so unique and so exciting, is this is just a new opportunity that we just haven't seen. You are going to have a pretty stellar builder team out here. You're going to have the choice of 3 builders in the all ages section and then 1 builder, Shea Homes, in the 55 and older community. In the all ages section, you're going to have some great builders kind of on that semi-custom level with Berkeley, with Tresidio, and then with Shadow Mountain Homes. There are going to be a multitude of floor plans, lots to choose from, selections, everything along those lines. So if this ends up in your budget, this could be a really cool opportunity. And again, one of the really exciting parts is it's actually built around the existing Falcon Crest golf course, and they're going to be adding onto it as well as kind of remodeling that golf course to kind of bring it as high level as they can. So eventually they're going to have Falcon Crest, the full 18-hole championship course. They're going to add a second 9-hole championship course and then a par 3 kind of challenge course to go with it. And then when we're talking about location, being where Valor is, you're going to be on the northern end of Kuna, just outside of South Meridian, South Boise. So even though you're going to be in a little bit more of the rural town of Kuna, you are less than 30 minutes from downtown Boise. You're going to be less than 25-ish minutes from the village. Everything's going to be within shouting distance. And like I've talked about on the channel before, as development starts to happen south of the highway in South Meridian, you're just going to be that much closer to all of this. Prices overall for all of these builders are going to start kind of in the 600,000s for this community, but a few things to note there is that is their base level floor plan, kind of the smallest one that they have. So really, if you want to be looking here, you want to feel comfortable with getting the lot, you want to feel comfortable with all the design selections that you want to make sure you save some money for, and you may want something that's a little bit bigger or more fits your family perfectly, you're probably going to want to be in the 700,000s. 800 will pretty much get you most of what you want. Now, all of these base prices are always changing, so if you have any specific questions and you want that full list, just reach out to me and my team. All of our contact info is down below. I'll be sure to get that over to you. But on the whole, Valor is the #1 community that I am just super excited for, because I think it's going to bring a new edge to our Treasure Valley and potentially show everybody that, hey, this is a really appealing type of community. So let's add 1 or 2 of these to try and bring more of that housing development. Now, if you take a little bit of a drive just a little northwest of Valor, you're going to end up right in South Meridian at Pinnacle. I've done a full community tour on Pinnacle on my channel already, so I'll link that video up here in this area. But Pinnacle is going to be located right on that tip of South Meridian. It's going to be a Brighton community, so you're going to have the builder team of Brighton, Alturas, and James Clyde Homes. And this master plan community is really going to be all about the amenities and the activities and everything that's centrally located to what they eventually are going to call the SoMe district. So once development's done, you're going to have a couple of new schools. They already have the new charter school. They're going to add hopefully another West Ada School District school. You're going to have Discovery Park and Discovery Bark Park, which are already there. You're eventually going to have 2 community pools. You're going to have an amphitheater for the neighborhood and some events. You're going to have a clubhouse. You're going to have walking paths. You're going to have neighborhood parks. Everything in Pinnacle is meant that it's truly that top of the line master plan community that gives you everything that you're looking for. And in order to fulfill on that promise, one of the things that's going to happen a little bit later in the development as the residential is really getting going, they're going to build out this entire kind of commercial district in Pinnacle. So once this happens, you're going to have even closer grocery, you're going to have some restaurants, coffee shops, hopefully those new schools that I talked about. You're going to have a new post office, which is fantastic because right now there's really only one in Meridian. And side note, it is the most annoying thing ever to have to go all the way there. And then of course, being in South Meridian, you are within a very short drive to all of the amenities that Meridian, the village, everything has to offer. You're going to be just about 10 minutes from the highway, so that's going to get you to the Meridian exit where Wahoo's is. You're going to have restaurants, bars, coffee shops, a few different grocery stores, your home improvement stores. And you're also going to be close to the Eagle Road exit, which has the St. Luke's Hospital. You're going to have more restaurants right down the road. You're going to have the village at Meridian. And then over the next few years, the 10-mile exit, which is just one farther than the Meridian exit, is currently getting built out to have all sorts of cool things. They're trying to build kind of the next village concept out there. It's going to be a few years away. They haven't gotten anything approved by the city, anything along those lines, but they've started to submit those plans. But regardless of what pops out there, there's going to be a movie theater, there's going to be some restaurants, shopping. There are some big plans out there, but the cool one is opening in April of 2024. We're actually getting our first Shields, the really popular around the country sporting goods, outdoor adventure clothing kind of store. They're going to have a big Ferris wheel inside of the store, so it's just going to be a cool thing that we really have needed something like here in the Valley. Now, as far as budget and the prices go in Pinnacle, like all of these communities, there's going to be a big range depending on the square footage and the plan that you want, but prices are going to start in the mid 500,000s and they can get all the way up to a little bit over $1 million depending on what you're actually trying to get. So both of these, Pinnacle and Valor, have a lot of really similar aspects of being that master plan community, offering a lot more than just houses and parks, kind of the basic amenities that you see in a lot of neighborhoods. But Valor is going to be a little bit more unique with that golf course feel, but you're probably going to have a lot more things to do in this SoMe district eventually with Pinnacle. But either way, you're probably only 5 to 10 minutes away from each of these communities. Now, let's hop all the way over to a different part of town. We're going to head out to Middleton, and I'm going to take you through Waterford by Hubble Homes. Now, some of you might be sitting there and being like, Chase, Hubble Homes, aren't they the very basic, bottom of the line kind of production builder? Is that really who we want to be building our next home? And I want you to stay with me here. Over the last few years, when I first got into the real estate game, we were looking to build our first home and we did not like Hubble. We really grouped them in with kind of those bottom of the barrel builders. You kind of got what you paid for. That was the entire thought process that we had. But over the last few years, more than most of the builders in our valley, Hubble has really tried to take some big steps to up the quality of their home, but still stay in that affordable price range. And they've really done this by focusing on improving all of the really non-sexy things about a home that really show the quality. They're gonna have conditioned crawl spaces. They're gonna have a little bit better included selections. Everything about them is trying to give kind of that next level of a home that separates them from the ultra budget, but is still at a better price point than some of these other ones that we always seem to highlight. So whenever I have clients that are looking for a little bit more of that affordable builder, maybe their price range is just a little bit lower and constrained, Hubble is the one that I will urge you to take a look at because they have some of the highest quality homes in that price range. But they are also one of the only ones where you can do a full build job and have an extensive design center to pick and choose from. You can change some structural things. When you're looking at countertops, you're gonna have 20 to 30 options to choose from, whereas some of these other builders in this price range, you're gonna have a couple of different countertops to choose from. It's gonna be a very small little design center located in their model home. Hubble has a separate, complete design center with a full design team located right off Eagle Road. So when you're looking at that full build experience, a lot of times people are really just looking to have some say in what goes into their home. And that typically comes as you get higher in price point, but Hubble really stands out in this price range in that regard. So overall, I just think they're a great balance of budget, choices, and a high quality build. Now, getting back to why I'm highlighting Waterford in particular, because Hubble has communities all over the valley. Waterford is very cool because it's out in Middleton 1, which is a very appealing part of town. And one of the things that is appealing about Middleton is a lot of times it comes with a little bit bigger lot size, a slower, kind of quieter pace of life. And Hubble has bought into this with a little bit larger lot sizes than in some of their other neighborhoods. And they actually made it to where a 3-car garage is standard in this neighborhood. You don't have to pay the added kind of upgrade cost to add that. This might not sound like a huge thing when you're first searching, but the fact that Hubble's doing this in this price range for all of their builds in this community is a big, big win, because a 3-car garage, when we're talking about the mid 300,000s, is not always easy to find. So like I just said, prices are gonna start kind of in that mid 300,000s, depending on the lot that you look for, kind of what floor plan, and then what upgrades do you want to do? Hubble offers full builds, which are going to take about 8 to 9 months, where you get to pick every single thing in there, or they have what they call quick move-in homes that are kind of in the process of construction, and depending on when you come in will be the timeline for how far out they are. Something to note with these quick move-in homes, you aren't able to make selections, but you do get to trim off a few months of that build time so that you can move into your home a little bit quicker. And you'll know every single selection before you pursue that home, so you'll know if it matches your style or not. So comparing this one to the first couple that we talked about, the main draw here when we're talking about Hubble and this community in particular is gonna be that it's just much more budget friendly. You can get a pretty killer home with a 3-car garage, a ton of design upgrades on one of the best lots in the neighborhood, and there's potential that you're still in the high 400s to mid 500,000s, whereas that's going to be the basic bottom of the line in these other neighborhoods. So it might not fit your kind of criteria of what level of builder that you want to have, but I'm telling you, take a look at Hubble, because nobody's been disappointed that I put through. And finally, we're going to talk about the 4th community that I'm really excited for in 2024. And this is a community that has existed for quite a few years, and it's one that I've had people relocate to multiple times over the last few years. We're going to talk about Dry Creek Ranch. And in particular, we're going to talk about their 3 new phases: Dry Creek Ranch, the Hills, the Estates, and then the Creekside lots. So Dry Creek Ranch is located kind of in northwest Boise. It's up Highway 55 a little bit into the foothills. The developer out here is Boise Hunter Homes, which is a very respected builder of that luxury level home here in the area. And their big selling point on Dry Creek Ranch is that you're getting a luxury high-end home on some of the largest lots that you will find in the valley, in one of the best amenity-rich communities, and just in a great part of town located inside of the foothills a little bit. So Dry Creek Ranch has got a extensive list of amenities when we're talking about what the community actually has to offer. They have a full equestrian kind of setup with stables for your horses. They've got a really renowned and beloved neighborhood farm to where you can actually have farm to table, and it's kind of operated by the people that live into the neighborhood. They have some great access to the trail systems in the foothills. They have their own little green belt with Dry Creek kind of running through. And the location provides some of the best views in the entire valley of Stack Rock, Bogus Basin. You're gonna have foothill views in a lot of these lots. It's just a really special part of town when you're looking at the actual scenery. They have a neighborhood pool, they have walking paths, they have neighborhood parks, all of these different things. But the cool thing about Dry Creek Ranch is even with the amenity-rich neighborhood that it has been for the past few years, they're actually stepping up their game here as they continue this development. They're putting in a brand new, massive state-of-the-art community center in 2024. So this community center is gonna have over an 8,000 square foot clubhouse. There's gonna be a fitness center, kids playroom, a catering kitchen. There's gonna be a fire pit, coffee bar. There's gonna be a lounge, conference rooms that you can rent out. The HOA is actually gonna have an office there so that they're on site. It's gonna have another neighborhood pool. You're gonna have some grilling areas. There are gonna be pickleball courts. Everything about this is meant to bring you every amenity that they can possibly think of, because this is located not really out of town, but you're about 10 to 15 minutes from the rest of Boise, up Highway 55 a little bit. So the fact that they're building this out in this fashion really just ups the appeal, because you can be a little bit more secluded, but not be secluded from the things that you need day to day, or just the things that you like to do. Now, Dry Creek Ranch on a whole, and then I'm gonna go through each of the 3 phases separately, is not the budget-friendly option. This is gonna be one that prices are gonna start at the bare minimum in the mid 800,000s, but they can go up very, very quickly depending on the build and the lot that you choose. Getting started, let's talk about the hills, the new phase that they have located exactly that, a little bit more up into the hills surrounding Dry Creek Valley. This phase is gonna be super appealing to you if you put a big premium on the views that might be available to you. So those views of Stack Rock, of Bogus Basin, there are some lots in this part of the neighborhood that are gonna be absolutely killer. Eventually, as construction and development kind of finishes up, they're actually gonna have a connection from the neighborhood through the hills back to Eagle Bike Park. And Boise Hunter Homes actually made an entirely new slate of brand new floor plans that are exclusive to this part of the community only. So you have a chance to have a home that truly is one of a kind, that you're not just gonna find 5 or 6 times throughout your neighborhood. And again, these will start at the low end in the mid 800,000s, but you can get up into the 1.2, 1.3 million pretty quickly. But if you're looking for that luxury level build, Dry Creek Ranch is gonna offer you the amenities and the experience that make it worth it. And next up, we're gonna talk about the Creekside lots that are still available in Dry Creek Ranch, but they're on their final opportunities. So this part of the development was located, of course, Creekside. These lots were very limited. They were rare, no actual rear neighbor kind of opportunities that you just don't find in most developments, but especially out here. You're gonna have access to the Creekside Trail just out your backyard. And like I said, these are in the final opportunity. So if this is something that you're interested in, shoot me an email down below. I'll get you the full list of everything that's available. The prices for these is gonna start in the mid 900,000s. And then for the very top end, when we're looking at the new opportunities available in Dry Creek Ranch, we're gonna talk about the estates. This is one of my favorite developments to drive through, give tours of right now in the entire valley. The only reason that I saved it for a little bit later in the video is because it is gonna be price prohibitive. It is definitely one of our higher end kind of luxury home site feels. And a big part of that is every single lot in the estates is either a half acre or a full acre lot. So this means you are just one street away from all of the same great amenities. You have the same access to everything that Dry Creek Ranch has to offer, but you have your own estate and your own acreage property that you can set up however you want. With the equestrian and stable setup that's already in Dry Creek Ranch, they really set the estates up to allow for you to have your own stables on your lot. Raise horses, do whatever, but this is the part of town that if you want that luxury home and you want that big, big lot, the estates is gonna be pretty hard to beat. And because of that, prices are gonna start here in the mid kind of 1.35 million and up. There are a few quick move-in homes in all of these phases, which means the construction and everything has already been started. But of course, they do full build jobs in any of these on any of the available lots. And like I said earlier in the video, this kind of list of all the availability, all the different prices, it can be a really big pain to kind of get that from every single builder. And it can change almost on a daily, but especially a weekly basis. So if you have any questions or interest in any new construction community, but especially these 4 that we talked about, all of my information is down below. Shoot me a quick email and I'll be sure to send that over to you so you kind of know what the current situation is. And even though these were the top 4 that I really wanted to feature a little bit more in depth, there are a couple communities that I didn't include because they are on kind of their final opportunities and could be sold out over the next couple of months. But I want to give them a little bit of a shout out here in case you're looking for something and you're kind of thinking of making that move somewhat soon so that you can snag one of these. We're going to have Harris North. This is going to be out in Southeast Boise. If you're looking for a view home in Boise, you have a little bit more of that luxury price point. Harris North offers some of the best unobstructed views in our entire Treasure Valley. You are going to be in that 1.2, 1.3 and higher price point, but they have a few lots out there that are just absolutely one of a kind, and they're going to be really tough to beat. Also over in Eagle, and this is a community that's gotten a lot of recognition and people have absolutely loved it for about 5, 6, 7 years now. Legacy is actually entering their final phases as well. Legacy is a community that is all about the amenities. They've got various kind of neighborhood pools all throughout. They've got a ton of creekside lots with these like man-made lakes that actually exist throughout the neighborhood. You're gonna have neighborhood parks, you're gonna have the 3-hole golf course, everything in Legacy. It's a really amenity-rich neighborhood located in Eagle, Idaho, and it'll most likely be sold out and wrapping up construction sometime in 2024 and then early parts of 2025. And there you have it. Those are some of the top new home communities coming in 2024 up here in the Boise, Idaho area. If you have any questions about the communities in particular or just relocating to the area in general, feel free, reach out. All of our contact information is down below. I would love to find a way that I can help you just move your journey a little bit further. And like always, if there was something that I missed, something that you just disagree with, or something that you wish I would add next time, go ahead and drop that comment down below. I always love to hear your thoughts. But until then, I'll see you all on the next one.